All right, and I want to now turn to Ina Sovsun and ask, first of all, how you're doing, how your colleagues are doing, and what is needed. What are you seeing at this point?
Well, I am, first of all, I want to thank the presenter for wearing Ukrainian flag clothes. That is extremely touching. I can't do that right now because I don't have a majority of my clothes with me because I'm staying with my friend's place. I only have as much supply as I could get with myself. I am extremely happy to hear what I am hearing right now. This deal that I hope will happen with helping Ukraine get protection for the ear is so extremely needed. I spent the day yesterday helping evacuate some of my friends to Western Ukraine. They didn't have the cars. Their husbands, boyfriends left for the military, and I just promised I will take them back to safety. And I initially was planning to take them to the city of Vinnytsia, and just an hour before we were supposed to get there, the Russians bombed the airport in Vinnytsia, and that was like 2 kilometers from where we were supposed to be driving. So that is now getting extremely scary. The Russians are bombing cities in different parts of Ukraine. So there is hardly any place in Ukraine where anyone can feel safe. Of course, the situation in cities of Kharkiv, of Mariupol is the worst. That is just a humanitarian disaster. But yesterday they bombed the small town of Korostyn in northwest Ukraine, just randomly, just to make sure that everyone is so scared of them and that that everyone is willing to surrender. In that raid over Korostyn, they killed one person, and a 3-year-old child was left without one leg. And I, as a mother, I just can't imagine the pain of the parents who are experiencing that. This is the reality we are in, and this is why this support from air is so very much needed, because what Russians are doing with those attacks from air is just terrifying. And I'm ready to say that Ukrainian army is completely willing and able of fighting on the ground. But it's extremely difficult when at the same time they have to evacuate civilians from those airstrikes and fight the Russians. So this is what they're doing to my country right now. It pains me to see, and that is why I so much hope that this deal with the provision of fighter jets to the Ukrainian pilots will work out. I have confidence in our pilots. We have one pilot who is now called the Ghost of Kiev, who has shot down more than 30 Russian planes. They are skillful. They will be able to do this. What we're asking for is just please provide us with this so that we can save our children and then fight the Russians back on the ground.
Ms. Sovsun, one of the things that's held up the delivery of planes to Ukraine is that NATO clearly is concerned about this war spreading beyond Ukraine's border. In interviews, you've said that's already going to happen, that NATO shouldn't fool itself, that this can be contained to the country, the territorial country of Ukraine. Can you explain why you think NATO might be misreading Russia here?
Well, let's look at it this way. Putin already said that he doesn't like Poland and Hungary in NATO. We do remember that weeks leading to the war, he was making statements that he just doesn't just want Ukraine to claim its neutrality, even that is a lie, because he attacked us in 2014 when we were officially a neutral state. So this is just a bogus argument that he is making up. But at the same time, he was also saying that he wants NATO to return to its borders prior to 20 years before. That means that he wants Poland out of NATO, that he wants Hungary out of NATO, that he wants the Baltic states out of NATO. And that is why those countries are now extremely concerned and are so supportive of Ukraine's efforts to fight back against that. Because let's imagine worst case scenario, he devastates the whole land of Ukraine, he kills everyone in here, and he gets close to eastern border of Poland. We have to understand that he will go in there. He is crazy enough to do that. So what we're asking to do now is just help us fight him on our territory. We do already have a war here. We are just asking to avoid many casualties that can proceed further, because he will not stop. There is nothing to stop him. He is completely out of his mind. He has nothing left that is human in him, and he will go further if he is not stopped here.
Ukrainian Member of Parliament Ina Sovsun, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. And Joe, to her point about potentially going into Poland or something else, he is crazy enough to do that, Ina says. At this point, he keeps moving the goalpost. He keeps saying things starting out crazy, but going beyond.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.